Om. Namaste. We will proceed with chapter 17 of Mahavatar Babaji's life and journey by extending the Samyama at the Muthukumara Swami temple in Swetanathapuram. Mahavatar Babaji was able to have the presence of his guru Bhoganathar Siddhar. Bhoganathar Siddhar advises Mahavatar Babaji not to respond or react to the proposals what has come before him, and also not to commit anything to anybody. In the meanwhile, Bhoganathar Siddhar advises Mahavatar Babaji to go again to Tillai. You will have some clarity and you will have some experience, but before going there, have the permission of your parents, explain to them, then only you go. Immediately you need not go. Spend a few days at Swetanathapuram only. You will have much more experience in Swetanathapuram itself, and you will be able to have the darshan of Tillai Kali again, where you will be sanctified. Then you will be meeting some divinities, and before that, go and meet Patanjali. Accepting the guidance of Mahasiddha Bhoganathar, Babaji returns home. After having concurrence and clarity from Mahavatar Babaji, Mahavatar Babaji's parents come to a conclusion that their son Nagaraja will not involve in any business activities, any commercial activities, or do any direct or indirect business in and around Swetanathapuram or elsewhere. They are not interested in such kind of activities. After this decision has been taken by Babaji's parents in concurrence with Mahavatar Babaji, Mahavatar Babaji stops going to harbor and remains at home. Sometimes he follows his father to temple. After getting some kind of guidance from Bhoganathar Siddhar from the sacred premises of Muthukumara Swami, Mahavatar Babaji, as and when he gets time, he follows his father and goes and helps his father in the temple activities. The days are moving. The cultivation season comes to an end. The Thaiposham festival is nearing. It is almost over a month or so. Babaji neither visited the harbor nor Manimaran and Swaminathan. Swaminathan persistently was meeting Vedaranya Shastrigal, and indirectly he was bringing pressure on him. In the meanwhile, Manimaran somewhere subtly realizes that as long as Babaji was coming to him, the business was growing like anything. Not only that one, the storage facility or godown what he had created for the imported goods to be stored always remained empty, indicating that all the imported items were selling like hotcakes. Now, there is a heavy stock of imported items, and the business also is slightly declining, not to that much, but when compared to the level where Babaji was present, the decline is distinctly noticeable by him. Realizing that, Manimaran again comes to Mahavatar Babaji, and somehow he wanted to have Babaji in his fold. Not able to take the pressure of Manimaran, in spite of declining, Babaji decides to leave Swetanathapuram. As advised by Bhoganathar, he wanted to go to Tillai and continue his journey as advised by Bhoganathar. Mahavatar Babaji expresses this proposal before his parents, Vedaranya Shastrigal and Jnanambika Devi, the parents of Mahavatar Babaji, accept this proposal, and they want Mahavatar Babaji, their son Nagaraja, to be little away from Manimaran and Swaminathan for quite some time. Babaji says, I will be back in a shorter time and somehow I will be sending messages to you wherever I am. With this understanding, Babaji, on an auspicious day, without information to Manimaran and Swaminathan, not disclosing his journey or the destinations, leaves Svetanathapuram and Mahavatar Babaji arrives at Thillaikali. By the time he arrives at Thillaikali, Mahavatar Babaji's father had acquaintance in Thillaikali temple. At Thillaikali temple, the Purohits who are taking care of the Thillaikali temple are inviting Mahavatar Babaji. They have double introduction now. Earlier they have seen Mahavatar Babaji being praised by the general public. Now he happens to be the son of their own friends and family members. So Mahavatar Babaji is able to stay 2 or 3 days in Thillai temple. But Mahavatar Babaji takes his journey from Svetanathapuram to Thillai in disguise and did not want to disclose his identity in order to avoid the privacy. As a result, many members do not recognize Mahavatar Babaji. The body only can recognize the body. The Sukshma Sharira only can recognize another Sukshma Sharira. As a result of this understanding, Mahavatar Babaji is not identified by many when he is in disguise. After visiting the Thillaikali temple, Mahavatar Babaji proceeds to Thillai Nataraja temple, where on his will he is able to meet Patanjali Maharishi. He seeks his guidance and advice to take up further of his journey. Patanjali Maharishi is aware of what had transpired in Svetanathapuram. After having darshan of Thillai Nataraja, Patanjali Maharishi leads Mahavatar Babaji to Swamimala temple, which is a sacred place where on Thaipusam day, once upon a time, the Pranava mantra, the meaning for the sacred home, was explained by Lord Muruga to his father Lord Shiva. The Thaipusam festival is nearing, as a result of which Patanjali Maharishi wants Mahavatar Babaji to be at the small hill of Swamimalai. Patanjali Maharishi and Mahavatar Babaji both together visit Swamimalai and have the darshan of Arumugaswamy Murugan. Patanjali Maharishi wants to give a special experience to Mahavatar Babaji, but for that he expects Mahavatar Babaji to have some patience and wait for some time. In the meanwhile, Patanjali Maharishi also advises Mahavatar Babaji to go to a place called Thiruparam Kundram. This place is a sacred place where the marriage between Lord Muruga, Lord Subramanya, Lord Kartikeya and Devasena Deivanayamma took place. As you have visited the Kadargamam, in which sacred place later Lord Muruga Subramanya marries Valli, so you will be able to experience the vibration of Lord Muruga's marriage sacred places. Both these places will give you double vision in your life. Nowadays, Mahavatar Babaji is able to understand the twilight language or Sandhya Bhasha or Sandha Bhasha, which will have double meaning, and it will not be an open-ended language which will not directly communicate anything, but indirectly it will communicate. Now Mahavatar Babaji is able to follow all Siddhas what they speak. Based on the advice given by Patanjali Maharishi, Babaji goes to Thiruparam Kundram temple. This is almost very nearer to today's Madurai Meenakshi temple. Thiruparam Kundram was a very small temple in those days, a very simple temple. People used to come from far off to this place, but more than the temple, the stay places were big. So many people used to come and stay in well-built chowdhuries or the stay places. Babaji goes there and directly introduces himself to the Purohits. They recognize him and they wanted to maintain the secrecy of Mahavatar Babaji being in disguise. Now the lot of respect pours for Mahavatar Babaji from the Purohits. They adore Mahavatar Babaji and they make all arrangements to stay for a couple of days at Tiruparamkundram. The Purohits also indicate that in a very small place there is one SEETHA Machamuni is staying, and if Mahavatar Babaji is willing to meet him, he can go and meet him. By the time Mahavatar Babaji prepares to go and meet Machamuni, Machamuni SEETHA himself arrives at the Tiruparamkundram temple, and the conversation between Mahavatar Babaji and Machamuni continues for few hours. The place where Machamuni was staying is just a walkable distance from the Tiruparamkundram temple. As a result, Mahavatar Babaji frequently visits Machamuni's kutil. The Machamuni happens to be the exponent of Hatha Yoga and also a very big tantric. Machamuni is able to demonstrate many tantras to Mahavatar Babaji. In one occasion, Machamuni converts a cat into an elephant, and Machamuni says it is neither cat nor an elephant, both are Maya only. Besides demonstrating some tantras, Machamuni also gives some secrets of tantra to Mahavatar Babaji, and each tantra is able to demonstrate before Mahavatar Babaji. So long our focus is on a single point, one becomes SEETHA who realizes a SEETHA can dissolve himself like a sugar candy in water, and from a water SEETHA also can become a salt doll. SEETHAs gain such abilities with oneness, seeing Shiva as Sakala Shiva, with oneness seeing Shiva as Nishkala Shiva. The attitude of oneness always allows us to show multiples to the onlooker. That is, we remain here and the onlookers or who follow us are able to see multiples in their life. Mahavatar Babaji is very happy meeting Machamuni SEETHA and stays with Machamuni for a few days. Machamuni happens to be the disciple of Agastya SEETHA. Before that, Machamuni also has got two other SEETHAs as Guru, Punnakesar and Pasudar. Mahavatar Babaji shows interest to meet the Gurus of Machamuni. Machamuni says, all the three SEETHAs will definitely meet you one day, but that time has not come. Especially the time for you to meet Agastya SEETHA is not so close or not so far away. This indication is understood by Mahavatar Babaji, but Mahavatar Babaji did not want Machamuni to elaborate on that, and the discussion ends there. Machamuni also indicates that he has a very prominent disciple in SEETHA Gorakhnath. SEETHA Machamuni indicates and promises Mahavatar Babaji that in the next meeting between Mahavatar Babaji and SEETHA Machamuni, the presence of Gorakhnath, Agastya and others can be felt by Mahavatar Babaji. After a few days of stay at Tiruparamkundram, Machamuni advises Mahavatar Babaji to meet another SEETHA by name Ramadevar, who is very nearby, and he will arrange a meeting between both of them. For which Mahavatar Babaji says, no, I myself will go and meet Ramadevar. I heard about him. Let me go and meet Ramadeva Siddhar. Ramadeva Siddhar is staying at a place called Alagarmalai. Alagarmalai is a place where Mahavishnu stays. Once upon a time, Mahavishnu arrives to Alagarmalai to participate in Meenakshi Sundareshwara Tirukalyanam. During the time, Mahavishnu is late by some time. As a result, he misses the marriage. Not being able to meet Sundareshwara and Meenakshi, Mahavishnu stays put at this Alagarmalai, which happens to be a worship place, by erecting a sacred temple at this place. As a result of this, this place assumes more important for Siddha Ramadevar, and he prefers to stay there only. Subsequently, Mahavatar Babaji visits Ramadevar at Alagarmalai. Siddha Ramadevar is an expert in making medicines and initiating mantras to various people. He conceives so many mantras for so many diseases, as a result of which many villagers in and around come and take mantra and practice mantra in order to cure their own diseases by self-cure and self-treatment. One day, Mahavatar Babaji and Ramadev Siddhar sit together and enter into Samyama with a deep meditation, with a call to themselves to have a deep meditation. Each discusses, let us sit silently and understand both of us. During the meditation, Mahavatar Babaji sees a vision which he saw earlier when he was meeting Satyamuni Siddhar, and some inputs given by Bhoganathar. Mahavatar Babaji invokes Satyamuni Siddhar in one of his meditation, where he was able to see the face of Ramadevar. At the time, he did not recognize who he is, as he had not seen Ramadevar earlier. Subsequently, now when he meets Ramadevar and who is sitting next to him, he is able to recall that Ramadevar was visible to Mahavatar Babaji when he met Satyamuni Siddhar. Subsequently, on the advice of Ramadevar, Mahavatar Babaji is led to Madurai Meenakshi temple. Ramadevar Siddhar explains to Mahavatar Babaji that the Pumbuhar was swallowed by the sea. As a result of this, the entire Pumbuhar Kaveri Pumbatinam had gone into the seas. The people who have escaped and have been saved by the outcry of the ocean, where the entire township of Pumbuhar Kaveri Patnam was swallowed, all those people who saved themselves or escaped from there moved to a place which is called Madurai today. All of them come to Madurai. After arrival at Madurai, those people who escaped from there, it is with their efforts the Madurai Meenakshi temple was constructed. Madurai Meenakshi temple is erected after Meenakshi Sundareshwara marriage happens, but it was in those days a very, very small temple, and as I said earlier, as per the indications I understand from Mahavatar Babaji, the temple was so small, but in and around the temple, lot of chowdhuries, lot of stay places were there. Many people used to come. Once they come, they will stay for a couple of days before they move out. So the temple of Madurai Meenakshi seems to have been built by those people who escaped or who have been saved from Pumbuhar or Kaveri Pumpattinam. I had indicated in one of the previous videos not relating to this subject that my forefathers also had come from Kaveri Pumpattinam only. They select Madurai because they wanted to keep away from the seashore, as a result of which those people who escaped from Kaveri Pumpattinam or the Pumbuhar, they select a place which is 10 yojanas from sea distance. While they continue to search the place, they find a place where the sacred marriage of Meenakshi Sundareshwarar took place. They start erecting a temple so that they could have livelihood at this place called Madurai. Once they start constructing the temple, what happens is all activities of their livelihood is taken place. Many people in and around the world, in and around the city, start visiting that particular sacred place. As a result, re-establishing their life becomes very easy. Mahavatar Babaji stays at Madurai, having darshan of Meenakshi and Meenakshi Sundareshwarar, and as indicated by Patanjali Maharishi, one auspicious day Patanjali Maharishi appears before Mahavatar Babaji, and we will continue in the next video about meeting of Mahavatar Babaji and Patanjali again at Madurai Meenakshi temple, and what happens beyond that. Till such time, Om Sadguru Babaji Namaha. Om Sadguru Babaji Namaha. Om Sadguru Babaji Namaha.